Go ahead.
About that too, because after doing what we did last night on Zoom with the training of lucid dreaming, after
Hmm.
doing that, I don't know if anybody ever said this after doing the training for the first time. I felt very terrible when I woke up. My body felt so weak, but I pushed myself to do the yoga from yesterday that we did live, and I felt amazing.
Yeah. You know what? This phenomenon, because it's very similar to just being fatigued anyway. Like when you do something that you're normally not doing, even if that you're I don't know, maybe you're doing a mantra, or maybe you're on a fast or doing the yoga. It's like that first gym class. And what it really is actually acid. Like some people try to make it into more than what it really is. That's why a real alchemist will say, bring me your acids and bring me your alkalines. Because what happens is that when the body, especially if it hasn't been worked out or it hasn't been, juiced up in a while, it has all these deposits of the acid inside of all of the joints and inside of the muscles. And then when you go and upset that acid, man, it's almost like sometimes we even cook up this perfect storm for ourselves, because we may even go and eat some tomato sauce, some vinegar, some hot sauce, or something that has that kind of thing going on top of this. And then your energy is depleted. And then what happens is when you go to bed, this is why, like one of the tricks to having good dreams all the time is to drink alkaline before you go to bed, because it's the vibration. It's the dream world is manifested based on the vibration in which the person is in when they go to sleep. And your vibration is not wholly like just in controlled of by your mind only, like that your mind is controlling your vibration. Actually, your body is the larger organism. So if it's got a lot of alkaline in it, which immediately takes the acid, it's like if you have even a beaker and you have a beaker of acid and it's just all bubbly and all that kind of stuff and it's looking like seltzer, you pour some alkaline in, it just goes and it goes into nothing. That's exactly what happens from your stomach, your energetic field, all of that. It basically puts the battery back on neutral. But if the battery is still in the acidic phase, it needs to now go to sleep, and it's going to have a restless sleep. This is like if you ever done a day of workout, it was like your first day back at the gym. You figure you're going to get it all back in one day. You go home, all this hurts the next day, right? Especially if you're hurt before you leave. If you're hurt before you leave, you're really done. But generally, it's 2 days. And then here it hurts. All of this hurts. All that's acid. And this is where the foam roller comes in. I guess we kind of got into a different conversation today, but hey, it's all relative. But the foam roller, this is another part that is just omitted from the whole process of working, of doing any kind of work on your body. It's not just doing the yoga, it's also the foam roller, because what the foam roller is going to do is it's going to move the acid. We literally have to look at our bodies like that piece of meat, like if you've ever had one before, or if you're still reminiscing on one, or you had one recently. Just a piece of meat, when it's not tenderized, right? What do they do to tenderize it? They take that tenderizer and they roll it back and forth on that meat. And if you do that for a few times, that meat just becomes naturally soft. You could take cheap meat and make it taste like filet mignon if you roll it long enough. So the reality is that you have to do that with your muscles, your calves, your arms. And notice how then what happens is, let me tell you what derails people from doing this. One thing is, first of all, the foam roller doesn't seem to be connected to them losing weight or gaining muscle. So they think. And so what they do is they generally omit it, or when they get on it, they either don't know what to do with it or they do it really fast. It almost seems like a waste of time. Like, I got to go work out. I'm not trying to do this foam roller. But that foam roller is actually going to be probably one of the most instrumental, especially if there's cellulite, if there's a buildup of certain viscous veins, these kind of different things. The foam roller is what will ultimately assist in fixing that, especially the one with the little knobby tips on it. So, just a word to the wise about when you go in on something very heavy and there's a lot of energy exerted, you're building up acid. You can take cell food, right? That to cell food is the only over-the-counter alkalizer, period. That beside the alkalizer, which is, so you got two types of alkalines. So on Secret Energy, we have the alkalizer, which is carbonates, right? So you have potassium carbonate, you have different carbonates that they create alkaline, right? Or you have alkalines like Cell Food. Cell Food is available on Amazon. Cell Food, if you notice, and you can't put a lot, some people just like, they get this kind of stuff and they squeeze the whole of it. It's like a dropper bottle. That's how strong this stuff is. They take the dropper bottle and they squeeze it in the water, and they drink in the water. Water tastes like lemons, right? And they think that, this is okay. You don't need to add anywhere near that amount of alkaline, because that will actually eat through your teeth after a while. So remember, the goal is always pH balance, right? So the goal is never high alkaline and definitely not low alkaline. It's pH balance. But in a high alkaline world where everybody thinks high alkaline is healing, it works kind of as a false positive, because most people are more on the negative or acidic spectrum anyway. Tomato sauce, breads, etc., all create acids. So technically, getting them more high alkaline things like high alkaline water is kind of the theory. But let's say a person that's already managing their diet, and they, especially if you're eating vegetables a lot and you're also drinking a lot of alkaline, you're going to rot away your teeth. You're going to rot away your bones. That's what alkaline does when it's at 9, 10, where they be drinking water at, right? So, of course, so you're the alchemist of yourself. So okay, so I just came out of the gym. I'm got acid. Let me add some alkaline. You'll take a couple of drops of Cell Food. You'll drink that. And then boom, it'll like a battery, it will discharge the static of the battery, right? And then you'll be able to recharge. So you'll actually be able to get good sleep, and then you'll be able to recharge, then you're good. Other than that, it's negs from there. Like it's just a simple process of vibrational frequency. If you don't do it, the acid is gonna pull you into to a negative frequency. And then when you dream, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. You'll be fighting and all sorts of stuff that just the negative zone has. And that's how you remedy that. And so I trust that could be your go-to when you're going through meditations. Even at times, meditations can be exhausting. When you start letting the air flow through you and you start feeling the bliss and all that, most of the time when people come out of that, they feel like they want to go to sleep. It's like they don't feel like they're juiced up and ready to go run downtown. And it's because you've started the generators, and now they're going. That's what you're feeling in the bliss. But the consistency of the actual fluid that is powering the system is basically discharging. And the body is so beautiful, it only takes your acids and your alkalines to be able to actually recharge your body. Like it's a pretty incredible system, but you would have to understand what you're doing in the first place. And what I noticed is that somehow we were even more prone towards a destruction. Like we would literally do things that at the wrong time, like I said, work out. Then all of a sudden grandma's got this meatball tomato soup tonight, right on top of all of the acid. And it just kind of cooks up this perfect storm. So I feel like we have to be aware of how we're operating our bodies. Yeah.